Acknowledge that the Labour manifesto was beautifully written, deeply moving, and like that other great blockbuster of hope and redemption, The Salt Path, a total pack of lies.
The whole house erupted in laughter, not because it was funny, but because they simply couldn't believe what they were hearing. That was a reaction when an MP stood up and calmly tore apart Labour's latest statement, exposing its bold lies one by one.
We are very proud of our manifesto.
It was meant to be a serious plan for the entire country, but instead, it turned into a national joke. And that laughter, it wasn't just noise. It was a warning bell, loud and unmistakable, echoing for all of us to hear.
The chair of the working group for anti-Muslim hatred and Islamophobia, Dominic Grieve, who was appointed by the Secretary of State, has a previously stated preference for a definition of Islamophobia that would shut down talk of religion in cases like the grooming gangs scandal.
This is the moment when things become truly troubling. When Angela Rayner was asked about a report that could reveal serious failings and shocking bias in the handling of grooming gangs, there was no sense of responsibility, only outright evasion. Even worse, there seems to be a clear effort to bury the entire issue in silence. That's exactly why it's so important to share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Because if we keep shining a light on the truth, they won't be able to sweep this under the rug. This is how we bring the conversation into the open and make sure your voices are heard. Now, let's take a closer look at what's really going on.
Graham Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could I begin by warmly congratulating the Prime Minister on his first year in office? Acknowledge that the Labour manifesto was beautifully written, deeply moving, and like that other great blockbuster of hope and redemption, The Salt Path, a total pack of lies. With joblessness, inflation, and debt ballooning, his personal ratings collapsing, and his backbenchers on a work to...
Yes, you heard that right. They are laughing at the very lies they themselves put out. This isn't a simple misunderstanding. It's a blatant display of contempt for the people who once trusted them.
Could the Prime Minister... Could the Prime Minister recommend...
Come on, let's get on with the question.
Could the Prime Minister recommend a summer recess read in order to take all our minds away from the calamitous journey on which he and the Chancellor have embarked?
I think most of their backbenchers are already on their summer recess, looking at the benches opposite, Mr. Speaker. We are very proud of our manifesto. It was a very successful manifesto, giving a landslide victory, and now we're very proud to be implementing it.
Kevin Hollingray, Shadow Secretary of State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The chair of the working group for anti-Muslim hatred and Islamophobia, Dominic Grieve, who was appointed by the Secretary of State, has a previously stated preference for a definition of Islamophobia that would shut down talk of religion in cases like the grooming gangs scandal. All other members of that committee, again appointed by the Secretary of State, are adherents of the Muslim faith. Does the Secretary of State not share our concerns that their report and recommendations will be seen as predetermined and biased?
Secretary of State.
No, Mr. Speaker, I don't. And there's no blasphemy law in this country because the last Labour government got rid of it. But this kind of, incendiary language, Mr. Speaker, is beneath the Shadow Secretary of State.
Kevin Hollingray.
Language, I was merely stating the facts. That's the reality. She was right in one regard. Freedom of speech is on the line. The current position is that the report will be for the government eyes only, and the decision on a definition will be taken in private.
If they are deliberately trying to bury this report, then it begs a question: what else might they be hiding? These are deeply sensitive issues, not something that can just be swept under the rug. At the very least, the public deserves honesty, clarity, and full transparency.
She at least commit to making the full report publicly available so it can be scrutinised by this House and elsewhere before a decision is taken.
Yeah.
Well, Mr Speaker, as set out in the terms of reference, the independent working group will submit their findings to ministers. We will then consider their recommendations and set out the next steps. I would urge the members to let the independent group get on with their work, and if he has views, feed them in as part of the call for evidence.
If you feel this spherical performance has gone on long enough, hit the like button now. It helps more people see the truth for themselves. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the stories the mainstream media would rather keep quiet. And share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think it's time we start calling out these bold-faced lies for what they are? Now turning to another major story. A fiery debate erupted live on GB News where veteran farmer Colin Rayner openly challenged Labour's Environment Secretary, accusing him of misleading the public about the agricultural budget. With nearly 50 years of experience rooted in the English countryside, Rhea didn't hold back. During a tense exchange with GB News political journalist Catherine Furr, he repeatedly pushed back on Steve Reid's claims. The confrontation reached its peak when Rhea flat-out accused Reid of telling blatant lies, shattering the polished image Labour had been trying to project and leaving viewers with a clear sense of who was telling the truth.
Welcome to the show. So, nothing to complain about, Colin. Farmers have more money. More money is going to more farmers than at any time under the previous government. What are you complaining about?
I just find it incredible that he can stand there and lie to the media. I've been farming since 1976. That's the biggest lie that we've ever been told to. The government is paying some farmers to plant wildflowers instead of growing food. That's insane. My 3 daughters have had to leave the business because the business is not profitable anymore. That's the next generation gone. They should be on the farm now learning the trade. You know, I'm 67. I just hope I don't have an accident in the next year to avoid the inheritance tax. This government, why does it hate the farmers so much? We here produce the best food in the world, allegedly. They should be supporting us. And they keep saying the National Health Service, the money that he's raised from an inheritance tax, £740 million, he's given to African farmers to plant trees. He's mad as a hatter. I'm sorry. Well, it's just insane what this government is telling us.
Colin, a lot of people do raise this question of priorities and choices. And you're right to point out that the amount of money saved annually by this inheritance tax raid is about £750 million. Some say it's as low as £500 million. And yet we find that we're paying out £1 billion a month in universal credit to those from overseas. We seem to find the money to help those from elsewhere, but we don't seem to find the money to help our own.
We don't help any UK citizen. We seem to help everybody else in the world first. And I don't mind helping other farmers and educating them and them come to this country to learn how to farm. But we need to look after food production in this country. And we produce our own milk, we produce our own beef and sheep. And we now have a government wanting us to eat less meat to save the planet. Avocados don't save the planet. So I can't understand this government, why he can stand there. He was booed at the NFU conference. We had the Prime Minister speak to us before he became the Prime Minister and lie to us for an hour. I just wish to tell the truth. We as farmers can handle the truth. You know, our family have been farming the same farm since 1551. I think I will be the last generation because the amount of tax the next generation will have to pay, will have to sell the farm, and it will turn into scrub land and into housing. We seem to be concreting over the countryside. They're now allowing solar farms on prime agricultural land. None of it makes sense. And I just wish this government would wake up and just speak to our National Farmers Union, speak to the Country Landowners Association. The statement he just made to your colleague was just unbelievable. The National Health waiting lists haven't gone down because they haven't collected any of the money from the inheritance tax yet. So it's I just find it laughable.
OK, we have to leave it there, and it's incredible to hear 500 years, more than 500 years of farming could be broken by these decisions. That is an incredible thing to hear. I hope that doesn't happen.
If you've made it this far, thank you. Seriously, every view, every like, every comment, It means more than you know. We're getting so close to our next big milestone, and we can't do it without you. If you've been enjoying the content, please take a moment to subscribe. It's completely free, but it means the world to us. Behind every video is time, energy, passion, and a genuine desire to bring you something that matters. Hitting that next goal isn't just about numbers. It's a sign that this little community we're building is growing stronger every day. So, if you're here and you found value in what we share, help us keep going. Subscribe. Join the journey. Let's hit this next milestone.